Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. My friend Loretta Rodger is with us right now, and she's a crafter. And I've learned so much from Loretta, and I'll have to tell you something she has told me that is an absolute must if you're a crafter, is taking care of your tools, your crafting tools.
Yeah, the care and feeding of your craft supplies. Mm-hmm. There's so many things you should be doing and people don't. So, but I have some favorites. I've got one right here in front of me, so we're going to just grab this. And this is a really good example of what not to do. Now, as you can see, this is just your ordinary Fiskars paper trimmer. Mm-hmm. But if I bring it a little closer, you can really see the dirt. Can you see all the crap right in here? And if you look at the cutting channel, it's full of crap. So you want to clean these. You probably want to do it at least once every couple of weeks. First thing you can do is peel off any glue. Yeah. There's lots of glue.
So how do you clean it?
Baby wipe. So you can.
Yeah, I'm getting baby wipes for everything, just about it.
Yeah, you can just take and it needs to be a little bit more than just baby wipe wet. It needs to actually be a little bit wetter. But, for the sake of demonstration. So you want to start, like I said, by getting all of this kind of crap off. Now, if it's stubborn, then just take your rag and let it soak, just like you would a pot. It's not going to hurt it. This is stainless. This little wire in here is stainless steel. Mm-hmm. So then, once you've got all that done, let's see if I got one here. Yeah. I call this a little dental tool. It's got a little hook on it. Mm-hmm. Now, this is your real friend. You're going to get into that channel, and you're going to. Can you see that? It's already got.
I can see.
So
really, sometimes people will just get a new cutter, and all they've got to do is clean it.
And they don't. Yeah, they just need to clean it now. Fiskars in particular is a company that I've used for probably most part of my marriage, almost 23 years now. Mm-hmm. And the reason this is so important is that they have a warranty that you cannot touch anywhere else in the industry. These cutters are guaranteed for life. So if this little arm were to break off, if they can send you a replacement for just the little arm, they will. But if it's something that's like this where it's welded, they'll send you a brand new trimmer. Same thing with
I've got one. Something is wrong with it. I didn't know that. So how do you do it?
You're going to look up Fiskars.com, and then or you can even Google Fiskars warranty, and then it'll take you through the steps. But it's real easy. It takes them about 2 or 3 weeks to get you the replacement parts or the replacement item. But it's well worth it. These things can get expensive.
They're pretty expensive.
Yes. So taking care of them so that they last even longer is really important. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk next about paper punches, and I can't believe I'm about to show this, but can you see all the crap from my fingers on this thing?
No, not real well.
Yeah. Anyway, baby wipe again and start rubbing it. Now, this is a really good example of one that's not coming clean because it's just been on there too long. See this little spot right up in here? I don't know if you can see that or not. Mm-hmm. So what you would do is go get yourself a magic eraser or generic.
I like magic eraser.
Every bit of it will come off. So I don't have it with me, but we'll pretend. You're just gonna. This one's cutting just. This was cutting just fine. But if it weren't, then you can take some wax paper, not tin foil, wax paper. Why wax paper? You want to guess?
I guess the wax residue.
Correct, but why? Well, it's going to act as a lubricant.
Okay.
So when you put the wax paper in here and cut it out, using your punch, then it's going to leave behind lubricant so that this continues to work. And it's the same thing here. It's hard to see these in camera, but this is actually a small die, and as you see, it moves. But if it's getting stuck a lot, it's just gotten gross.
Got gummied up.
Just use your wax paper. Wax paper is a girl's crafty best friend in the craft room. That and dryer sheets, another one of my favorites. And absolutely have to have coffee filters.
Oh.
Coffee filters catch a plethora of stuff that's gone airborne in your desk. And so you really have to pay attention. So if it's anything that you punch with or punch stuff out with, those are the few tips that you need to use to keep them like new. You really need to just keep them clean as you go along. I'm really bad about doing a mask making session, and my hands have gotten inky and my arms are inky, and I have ink down my elbows.
I know, and I'm thinking glitter and stuff like that. But let me ask you, as far as your machines, your cutting machines, is there a particular material you should not pass through those machines? Because of the gumminess.
Oh, I wouldn't send anything that's really sticky through it. No, it doesn't matter what it is, but no, nothing's sticky. Now, with that being said, we're talking the material. The mat's going to be sticky because it's, that's what it's designed to do. Yeah. But as far as caring for a Cricut machine or like the Brothers Scan and Cut, I have both. There are very specific directions that you can find for your particular machine on Cricut.com's website. And because when I'm doing a lot of work, my hands, once again, have gotten dirty. Usually a baby wipe will take off any fingerprints and keep my machine looking good. But let's just say I go over there and I notice that the wheels on my Cricut machine are gunked up and the paper's just not feeding very well. Well, the first thing you're going to do is check to see if those little wheels have something caught in them, and then real gently pry that out. Now, mine right now actually has a piece of washi tape caught on one of the wheels. It's not going to do it any harm, but I will be taking it off and cleaning it up next time I use my machine. And the other thing about any die cutting machine, whether it's an electronic one or whether it's, a manual machine, you really need to just take the time and either buy a cover for it or just use an old pillowcase, but you need to keep them covered. So when you're not using them, so they don't get so dusty. Craft rooms are dusty. You got paper flying everywhere. You've got glue flying everywhere. You have your dog flying everywhere.
And your cat.
Are your cat?
Really on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So, but, with that being said, if you can't afford or you can't make one yourself, a little koozie for your machine, then just use an old pillowcase. Just put it in there, get it nice and snug, envelope style, put it up underneath the bottom and store it until you're ready to use it again. It's washable, it's easy, and it keeps things clean in the long run. Another thing that's maintenance that I think is worth the money, and I can't believe I'm going to say I think it's worth the money.
Yeah, because I know how you are. You don't like to spend a dime.
Oh, no. If I don't have to, I'm not going to. But Cricut, a lot of folks who use their machines have developed a little divider tray that fits in the door. When you open the door, there's a little like tool thing. You can just throw stuff in. Well, you don't have to throw it in there now. You've got a place that is organized and will fit your Cricut tools exactly. And all you have to do is just open up the little door, get what you need, use it, and put it back again. So you're not having to search for those little bitty tools or little bitty tools like this that have the little hook on it, because you don't want to reach in somewhere and grab this hook and hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I highly recommend not doing that. Okay, so the other thing you can do that I think is really important. Scissors. Now, this may or may not show up. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see some glue or something.
Oh, yeah, you see pop dots because I cut some out. So you can just use, once again, a baby wipe and get all this crap off of it. Now, if you're having a little trouble getting it off, go get yourself a glass, not metal, whatever, a small little glass, and put some pure acetone, not fingernail polish remover, acetone in it, and put your scissors in there and let them soak. Every bit of that residue is going to come off, and you're probably thinking, these really just aren't that sharp anymore. Once you clean them off, you're going to be amazed at how easily they cut through paper. Now, if they're like these and they're cheap scissors, I wouldn't waste my time with them. I'd throw them in the trash. Mm-hmm. It's not worth your time or your mental health to try to clean up something that was meant to be used, a dozen times, if that. Mm-hmm. Throw it in the trash, let it go. It's okay.
Now, what about sharpening scissors? Should you just try the acetone method first?
Absolutely.
Then think about sharpening.
Yeah, but I would not sharpen anything like this, period. Mm-hmm. It's not worth your time. The only scissors you would want to sharpen are like, what are those called? They're German. It's not gingham, but it's something that almost sounds like gingham, but they're really long shears, and those have to be professionally honed. Now, if I wanted them done, I would ask Michael, because Michael can put an edge on something and do it correctly. He's got the experience. But if you do not have a wonderful husband like I do, or you have a husband that just does not do that type of thing, it is worth having them professionally done. It used to be where you could take them to Joanne Fabric, and you just call them up and you tell them what that you had, and they would sharpen them for you. And they were done right. And they're sharp as all get out. You actually are safer with a knife or a pair of scissors that is sharp than one that is not. Because if you do get cut with a sharp blade, it's going to heal better. It's going to heal faster. Doesn't mean it's going to hurt any less, obviously. But, yeah.
But if it's not sharp, it's just going to really just kind of tear up your skin. And it won't feel. We've got to go into a commercial break. You know how time flies. Let's go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there. Okay, we'll just do this just for a few seconds, and then we'll dive right back in.
Your face sunk.
Yeah, that's because we're in commercial break, and when Phil sees this graphic, he knows to take this part out and put the commercials in.
Oh, okay.
It's a visual thing. That way you can see.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, let's go right back in. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. I have my fellow crafter here with me right now who can write volumes. I can write maybe a leaflet of ideas, things that can help get you through the craft world, but she could write volumes. Her name's Loretta. And we're talking about tools and how to take good care of them, because if you don't, well, then a lot of people, I think, go to too much expense. They'll think, well, you know what? I think those are just worn out. And they're not worn out. All you got to do is clean them.
I see that a lot with what I consider to be consumable materials. People think, oh, it's just not working anymore, let's throw it away. Well, let's take, for example, an ink pad. Now, this is actually a it's not a dye-based pad. It's actually an oil-based pad. So there are different types of inks, which we've talked about before. But they'll be using this, and it's just not steeping. Their images aren't coming out that well. Well, the reason is because the pad may not be dry, actually. Oh. You may just need to put the lid on it and turn it upside down and let it sit for a day. Because what's happened is that ink has settled to the bottom instead of being up on the top where you're going to use it.
Now, but like you said, make sure the lid's on it really tight.
Make sure the lids are on them. Just world of good. Now, let's just say you have a regular dye-based ink like Tim Holtz Distress Inks, okay? Now, even though they are water reactive and that's what they're supposed to do, you can take a little pipette or a little rag or something and just drop a few drops of water directly onto that pad, and it will refresh it long enough for you to probably finish your project. And that's very important. The color may not be perfect like it was, when it came out of the box, but nobody but you's going to know. But you have to, as far as the feed and care of your craft supplies, that's, to me, is a biggie, because you're talking $7 and $8 a piece for one ink pad. As you can see behind me, I have quite a bit more than one. So I make sure that they are well maintained. And if I do find one that has gotten where it's just, I don't have the refill, I really wasn't wild about it. Do not feel guilty if you have to throw something away. We've said that before, but it's okay. You know what? It served its purpose. Whether you liked it or not is irrelevant. It's time to let it go, because now you just freed up a space 3 by 2 or 3 inches, so that you
that's called inventory control right there. So
it is definitely inventory control. But speaking of inventory, if you're just starting out, I highly recommend that you grab a friend, grab a kid that's old enough to type, and go through and make yourself an inventory of what you have. There's a program called Evernote that's really good with this. And the reason I like Evernote so much is you can take a picture of what it is and then put it in whatever category you want. And you will not forget where it is because you're the one that put it there. So it's really, really, and another, it's not necessarily a money-saving tip, but wash out your brushes when you're done with them. Whether you've
What's
used
the proper way to do that?
It's according to what you're doing. Most of the time, just warm soap and water in your kitchen sink will do the job. Now, I buy cheap paintbrushes. I just do not see spending $80, $100, $200 for a few paintbrushes. You can get the little generic ones at the craft store all the time on sale. They're fine. But as a general rule, you just need warm soap and water. I wash mine by hand. Take an old washcloth that I don't really use for anything else except crafts, and get in there and scrub them and get all the loose stuff out. Now, if you're scrubbing them, the bristles are falling out, chunk it.
Even I would chunk them at that point. Let's talk for a second about warranty on machines. I know some machines, let's just use Cricut. So the Cricut machine, you're voiding the warranty if you don't use the Cricut brand tools. Is that correct?
No. Nope. You can use whatever tools you want with the Cricut. Same thing with the mat. So it's not going to void the warranty. What will void the warranty is if you unscrew the back of it, and you want to get into its inner workings, or something like that. That will void the warranty. Now, Cricut has a pretty good warranty. It's 1 year, And I've never personally had any problems with Cricut where I had to call and say, hey, look, this has happened. I have had that experience with Brother Scanning Cut, and it kind of turned out to my favor because the machine's cradle, which is the little mechanism where the blade sits, and that's the part that goes back and forth or up and down or whatever to cut your project out. Well, it was rocking. It was like it was loose, and there's nothing to screw it into. So I called him, and so Mike helped me pack it up, and we mailed it off. Well, I'm really glad they kept it, but it turned out that they were no longer supporting that particular machine, and they gave me one that was twice as much money as what I paid for mine. So it's like the muckety muck of die cutting machines, but I do love it. I enjoy having it. So that worked out really well for me. But as far as craft supplies are concerned, some things are just common sense, but people forget to do them because they get distracted.
Get in a hurry.
Don't let your kids distract you to the point where you haven't put your pen's marker cap back on.
Oh my goodness, that's a no. Oh, let me ask you a question. And this pertains to ink pads, or what you just mentioned, pads you use for your stamps and stuff. So would you throw it away, or is there a type of an ink that you can buy to refill those pads?
A lot of them do have their own re-inkers. Like the Versamark, the clear sticky ink that I like to use, it's got its own re-inkers. Most of the VersaFine Clear, they all have their own re-inkers. Now, most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, the ink pads re-inkers cost more than the ink pad did.
Oh, yeah.
So it may not necessarily be a good thing to buy re-inkers unless it's something that you know from your experience that's probably going to retire soon. Like if you like the Stampin' Up! Products, they retire and they don't come back out. Well, then by golly, go get you 2 or 3 refills for that color so you have them forever. It doesn't take that much. People think that you need to soak an ink pad. You only need 3 or 4 drops, maybe 5 if it's completely dry. And then you drop the ink on, put the cap on, turn it where the pad is upside down so that the ink's not in the top, and let it sit for 24 hours. And then if it needs more ink, then you put more ink, and you repeat that process until you have it. So, but it's very important. Very important.
We're going to have to call it a day. Can you believe how time flies by? So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Loretta, you're going to be on in another couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio. We'll be seeing you again soon. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. 281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success. And now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows. Regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Good afternoon. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, netsnewsnetwork.net. I have my friend Loretta Rodger with me right now. She's a fellow crafter. Loretta, you have a website, and it's just chock full of all kinds of great information on there. How do we find you on the internet?
It's just www.LorettaRodger, RODGER, all one word.com. And when you bring up my webpage, the first thing you will see probably is I just redid it, so it's looking really nice, but you'll see the Loretta Lynn Rodger Paper Arts Instructor on there. But right above it, on the left-hand side, are the links to most of my social media posts, except for TikTok. I don't do a lot of TikTok. I do watch it, but I don't really do a lot with it. So, but whether it's Instagram or Facebook or whatever, that's where you're going to find me on the social media sites. I have now been metadata certified, which means when you bring me up on Facebook or you find me on Facebook, you're going to see that little "she's bona fide" blue check. Mm-hmm. Now, that's really important because there's so many romance scammers or so many people trying to pretend to be other people and they're not. It's worth it if you're going to have that much of a following. 1,000 people, a little over 1,000 people right now, follow me on Facebook, which makes me a, quote, public figure type, end of quote, which I find hilarious.
We already thought you were anyway. Didn't take Facebook to tell us.
It's so funny. It's like, whatever, But
people are following your knowledge, and that's really important.
Most of them will look on to see what I've posted as far as the blog part, and then they'll just go scoot over to Instagram to see the project. Because chances are I'm going to have the instructions posted on both. Mm-hmm. So there may be a few more instructions, say, on Facebook than there are on Instagram or vice versa. So it's according to how much time I have and how much of the instructions that I think are absolutely critical versus stuff that is just kind of fluff. Mm-hmm. You got to have the measurements. You got to have the paper size and all that good jazz. But you don't necessarily have to put in your post, take your scissors and cut it. Well, you're going to cut it with something. Hello. Most people are going to assume you're cutting it with scissors. It's fine. But you don't have to be so picky that you confuse yourself. Because I'm bad about that. I'll be in the middle of posting something or writing up a nice, set of instructions, and I'll go back and read it, and it's like,
I've been that too. Like, why did I put that in there? Yeah, or I eliminated something I should have put in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you put something in there you should have just, it was wasting time, wasting space. Get to the point. Keep it simple, Stamper.
Now that's a good one. That's a real good one. So let's talk about this. Okay, so a lot of people shop for supplies online. And I've really got some great things. I mean, from people who just didn't want to do the business anymore, started another career and just don't have time. They just want to just get rid of it in a lot. And so I've found some really good things. But no, there are people, I know you're shocked. There are people on the internet who are scammers, and they're just out there trying to take your money. How can you shop responsibly online when you're looking for craft supplies?
Well, if you're, number one, never go to someone's house by yourself. Don't do it. Take a friend, take your kid, take your husband. But, I had a situation a couple of years ago where this lady was selling off a bunch of stuff, and she had it marked at a decent price, and it looked okay until I got home. Mm-hmm. And then I discovered that the paper had been wet. So all this really expensive paper I bought was ruined. And if
so why should they put the good paper on top and disguised it? Yeah.
So I actually called her and I said, would you like me to bring it? She's in Birmingham. I said, I'll bring it to you. I said, but you need to refund. And I told her how much of it I thought she needed to refund to my money. And I said, you got 24 hours to do it. And then if that wasn't bad enough, I started going through these boxes, and there were tons of pictures and postcards and all that good jazz of her and her late husband. I wasn't about to keep that for myself, so I I got a bigger box, and everything that was going back to her, I shoved it in a big one. I was nice about it.
Yeah.
I wrapped all of the memorabilia in plastic because it was going to be up against that wet paper. I didn't want it to get run. So I wrapped that in like a really nice plastic wrap, or it separated it more or less. And then I took the whole box and I mailed it to her. And then she sent me this nasty gram, and I went, you wouldn't have even known I had it if I hadn't told you.
Mm-hmm.
But I took my time and my money to send it back to you.
Yeah.
It's like you have to let it go. I was lucky in that case that I got some of the money back. That doesn't always happen. It's okay to get somewhere. This is my number one little pet peeve with people. It's okay to get somewhere and you don't like what you see, but you feel like you're obligated to buy it. No, you're not obligated to buy it. But
it's not just because you're looking at it. I mean, when you go to the store and look at something in a store, that doesn't mean because you looked at it, you're going to have to buy it.
Well, when it comes to that, it goes back to this, especially us girls who are raised in the South. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, so you'll just buy it, and it can be total crap. Don't do that. If you just see 2 or 3 pieces in her collection that you do want, then say, can I offer you, XYZ dollars for these stamps or whatever it is? I really appreciate your time. I'm not really interested in the other items you have. But if you don't mind, I will let my girlfriends know and see if any of them are interested. Mm-hmm. But that word of mouth is really important. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to sell something, make sure your friends and your family know that you're trying to get it sold. So you have to do that. But you never ever go somewhere by yourself. It's just
but you never know it could be a lure to get you in somewhere, and then you
and then they find you in the pig farm. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't look good in pig feed. So, but you have to watch. And I think I've mentioned this on your show before. But there's a book that every girl from age 8 until she's dead or about to be dead, she read. It's by a man named Gavin de Becker, and it is called The Gift of Fear. Now, I've read it several times, and I've listened to it on audiobook. It's a good read, but it's got some very good real-life examples of what can happen if you don't let your natural, I call them spidey senses, if you don't let natural fear temper what you're about to do. And for example, Mike was deployed at the time. I had heard a package get dropped, and I heard this knock. I swear to you, this is all it was. I don't even know how I heard it. My dogs didn't even bark, and you know them. They will. So I went to the door, and I actually went outside and closed the door behind me. Because I'm thinking, if nothing else, I could go back in the garage door. I'm going to lock this one. So he claimed to be with the water company, and they were going to change out the meter. And I'm like, well, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, why did he have to?
Here's the problem. He didn't have a name badge. There was no truck of any kind showing, utility or, how they have the ones for MUB. They're very well marked. And he walked away from me and into my backyard. Why did he do that? I don't know. But I locked everything up. I made sure that every door in this house had a chair up underneath it, and I had my gun. You come in my house, we're going to have some problems. And then I found out like a week or so later, there was a man saying, he's going to check the water pressure. And he'd go in and rob these older people, rob them. I mean, we're not just talking, I'm just going to take some things and make you feel like scared. No, they were beating the crap out of these people and taking their money. And so you cannot be too careful. And the reason I say that in regards to like craft supplies is craft supplies can be expensive. You need to protect your investment by keeping things clean and orderly, but you also do not want to fall into the trap of, oh, look at my new machine. Look what I got. It will do nothing but put a target on your back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine to say that to your girlfriends where it's going to be safe, and share that good news of saving up your money to buy that machine you've wanted for so long. That's fine. But you don't want to sit there and post it on the internet. Even though I personally do not have a big problem with people showing their hauls, you really shouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it. Another thing, we're right at vacation season right now, and this kind of has something to do. Well, it's with safety. So I know people who, I'm going to go to Hawaii. We're going to be gone for 3 weeks, or we're going to be gone for a month, or whatever. All you're doing, I promise you, there's some predator watching your Facebook page right now.
Or your house.
Oh my goodness. So all you're going to do is open the door to let them come on inside your house, and just you'll get home and there won't be anything.
Yep.
And while I'm on the beach showing up pictures of me having a good time, they're out there robbing my house. If you want to post pictures, do it after the trip, not before,
Absolutely.
not while you're at it.
I agree.
Not a good thing. Let's go into a commercial break. We're halfway there. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. All right, so we're just a few seconds. We'll get Yeah, one of my friends actually did that. They were gone and came back, and they were been posting pictures of their little nice trip on the beach. Well, some thug figured out where they lived.
Let's see, and if I'm going to post anything, it's going to be after the fact, and it's not going to be geotagged. So
yeah,
you do not turn off the flipping location system. What are you doing?
People don't. Let's talk about that when we get back. Let's talk about that because people don't know what in the world they're doing.
No.
All right, here we go. Okay, we are back from commercial. Thank you so much for watching The Edge. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment and television. You can find us on Charter Communications, that's in North Alabama, as well as Abundance Television Syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And you can also check us out on the podcast, netsnewsnetwork.net. I'm back with Loretta, Rodger, and we are talking about safety. Some of it kind of got started and it evolved into, if you're going on vacation or whatever you are, what are some safety tips? What are some settings you need to take off of your cell phone?
Take the location setting off. Turn it off.
Please.
Take those pictures off your phone later on. People are average, they're smart enough to figure out you were in Hawaii. You don't need to geotag it. And the same thing goes with if you're sharing pictures. Okay, let's back up a little tiny bit here. You should never, ever share pictures of your children online. It's stupid to do so. It's fine to send it in a private message or an email or something like that to someone you trust. But there are too many predators out there. All they have to do is look at that little thing because you've forgotten to turn off the location services and it's geotagged, and they can easily take your children.
That is a fabulous idea. I'm so glad you mentioned that because some of the predators are definitely out there. I'll tell you something that makes me nervous, and I swore I'd never do this again. So I got asked to help judge in a beauty contest for little girls. I'll never do that again. First of all the little girls were cute. It was a hard decision. I didn't know who to choose because they were just all pretty. But the thing is I got to looking around that room, and there was a couple of guys there that to me something just felt wrong. Something wasn't right. I wouldn't put my little girl in the beauty contest based on this alone. John Benet Ramsey in that case was enough to do me in. So I walked up. I walked up to this guy and I said, "Oh, do you have a child or a grandchild in the beauty contest?" And then I just smiled. I think he knew what I meant. I knew he was there for the wrong reason.
And he left, didn't he?
He left.
Yeah, the dude. There was a situation, I can't remember where it was, but it's only been a couple weeks ago, where this man went into the child's classroom and he had already gotten a little girl, and he was like at her desk and talking to her about her paperwork, and give me your paperwork so we can get that signed for you, and pretending basically to be her father. Well, what he didn't know was Dad was the principal of the school. Oh. Another mother who knew this child stepped in, and there was no real security. Number one, you need security in your school, but she stayed there until she knew that this little girl was back with her dad, and they arrested him. And when they went to arrest him, and they were cleaning, going through the car and all that, that they do, he basically had a rape kit in there. He was going to kidnap and kill this little girl. Is what he's going to do. And he looked like some really nerdy guy that you would expect hanging out at the library all the time. Uh-huh. There was just nothing about him that would draw attention to him. And that's the other thing. Don't assume for 1 second that your babies are safe. You do not want to lose your child. We just lost a child here a few months ago. It's hard. And he died, unfortunately of cancer. Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine losing a child because it was kidnapped and raped and killed.
I've heard people say, because I had a niece that was just friendly. She's just a friendly little girl. She'd speak to people, and she'd been told 1,000 times not to speak to strangers. She'd just speak to everybody. That little girl I wasn't left alone. And so it was in the family. And I did have a discussion with this family member. I said, first of all, I would never leave them on the beach by themselves. You better be watching them, because there's so many predators out there. But it's just, this is just a crazy world that we're in. And again, people taking pictures, letting their little girls. I'm not anti-beauty contest. I think it's a wonderful thing. But you've got to watch them, and you've got to think about the predators who are definitely out there. And it seems like they're in droves.
Yeah, they are. And you need to have a safe word. It needs to be something easy to understand, but a safe word. So if the child, starts walking off and they're yelling, pizza, 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 somebody's going to hear them and go, why are they yelling pizza? That's kind of odd, but it draws attention.
That's a great idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
It draws attention to where it needs to be, because there's sex predators and sex trafficking has gotten increased. Drugs have increased to the point to where, this fentanyl that's been on the black market that's now coming here to the States, is one tiny little gram of it can kill up to 40,000 people. This is not fiction, it's reality. So what do you do to protect your family? Well, number one, let's think about this. If you see like a dollar bill or money or something shoved in your on your car's windshield, don't touch it. Call the non-emergency police, tell them what you found, and they will send the right people, because it could very well be laced with fentanyl. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is touch it. It goes through your skin and you're gone. That's just the way life is. Or you can be stupid and go, it's like, I think there is a time and place for like medical marijuana, especially for our folks who have cancer. Mm-hmm. But I don't think marijuana needs to be a legal drug. Mm-hmm. It's not like the pot, our parents smoked. This is really synthesized, sophisticated stuff. Keep it regulated so people stay safe. Mm-hmm. Use some common sense, which in this day and time, unfortunately, there is
not so common.
I finally gotten to the stage in my life where when you see something happen, you just kind of sit back and you watch, because the train wreck's about to come.
Yeah.
And then when the train wreck finally does come, you're sitting there going, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, let me ask you a question about this, because it's getting hot outside. I mean, it really is. And I'm going to put a disclaimer up here. First of all, if I'm anywhere in any parking lot anywhere, and your vehicle has a child in it with the windows rolled up, or a cat or a dog or something, I'm going to get something. I'm going to bust the windshields out.
Yep.
I mean, I will do that. So it's hotter in a car with the windows rolled up than it is even outside.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be 98 degrees outside and the interior temperature of that car is 120. I had this lady who was going to leave her dog in the car, and I had actually broken my foot. And I told her, I said, ma'am, please don't leave your dog in the car. Oh, he's on a cooling blanket. I said, that cooling blanket isn't going to keep your dog from suffocating. You have 5 minutes. I said, if you're not back in 5 minutes, I'm going to go get my tire iron, and I'm going to break your window, and I'm going to get that dog out the car. And she's like, you what? And I'll call the law. I said, call the law. They'll be on my side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she just went off on this tyrant. And I went, ma'am. And she said something about her. That dog gets treated better than her children. Oh.
I would hate to say what she does to her kids.
Well, they're grown, obviously. I looked at her. I said, oh, I feel so sorry for your children. That's awful. She's like, no, it's not. They turned out to be good people. I said, that must be because of their father. And you know what happened? She stopped what she was doing. She went and got in her car and she left. Because she knew I was serious.
This one's the funny one, though. People have said, oh, I'm just going to Walmart. I won't be in there but a minute. There is no such thing as being in Walmart for 1 minute. First of all, you can't track down any help. And then there you are stuck in line forever, checking out. And even at the checkout lines, those are forever lines as well. So there's no such thing. And then you're going to run into everybody you know. And then you're going to be talking to them and all this. And so it's just, there is no such thing as, I'm only going to be there for a minute. Loretta, 1 minute left in this show. How can folks find your website?
It's just go to your regular web browser and open it up, www.lorettarodger.com. And I hope to see you there. I've got some new projects that are in the works right now. I'm doing a little, development, make a prototype and see if things are going to work, and then write out some instructions and do some more videos that way. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel as well. So that's youtube.com/@Loretta Rodger, and you will be able to find me that way. And of course, you can always put it in the search bar. You can just get my name in there and you'll find all my videos. So I am so glad that everybody came to support us today, Donna. I love your viewers and I love you. And I think that your voice and what you have to say is very important. And I appreciate it very much.
You got the best viewers. And thank you for being on the show. Absolutely. Folks love hearing from you and sharing your knowledge as well. So everybody, thank you so much for watching The Edge. My name is Donna and I am your host. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is #1 as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success. And now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.